All right, so this is the moment that we've been waiting for. All of our hard work, we finally made the I Am Rich app. So let's give it a spin and run the app. So firstly, let's recap that down here, you're able to set the canvas size, and note that we've designed our app on an iPhone 6s canvas size. So when you switch down to a smaller size, such as the iPhone SE or the iPhone 4, it will change your design. Now, in the Dicey tutorial later on, we're actually going to be addressing auto layout and how to set constraints. So how to set up rules that determine where your images and where your labels should be displayed on the screen in relation to the size of the screen, so that our design can look good on all screen sizes and orientations. But for now, we're going to keep it as our iPhone 6s canvas, and we're going to run it on the same size simulator. So if we go into this drop down list, and by default iPhone SE is selected, and we'll just change it to the iPhone 6 or iPhone 6s. Both have the same 4.7-inch screen size, so it doesn't really matter. So we're building I Am Rich onto the iPhone 6 simulator. So there's a few ways of running your app. You can either press the play button over here. So the top bar is actually very similar to iTunes, and by pressing play, you'll build and run your app. Alternatively, you can go into product run, or you can just hit the command R button, which is what you'll be doing as you're running your app more frequently. So again, I'll point out, have a look at the keyboard shortcuts document, and you can start practicing using some of these shortcuts. They'll make your life so much easier in the long run. So let's go ahead and click run. And we can see that in the status bar, it's telling us that it's building and now that it's running. So the first time that you load up your simulator, it's going to take a little while for it to boot up. And the simulator is essentially an application that's pretending to be an iPhone running on your Mac. Now, it's got artificial constraints in terms of memory and storage. Obviously, the memory capacity of your MacBook is far superior to your iPhone or iPad. But it does have simulated constraints. So when you do try to use more memory than you can on a normal iPhone, it'll crash your app in the same way that it would do on a physical device. So the first time you load up the simulator, just give it a bit of time for it to boot. And then once it does, it will automatically load up and switch on the app. Now, this is really important because if I just go to hardware home, when the app is first loading up on your simulator, you'll see the home screen like this. It's very tempting to just click on the icon to launch the app. Now, the reason why you shouldn't do that is because when Xcode opens up the app by itself automatically, that's a connected session. So the simulator and Xcode is connected. So Xcode knows what's going on the simulator, and you can receive debug logs, etc., which are really useful when we start trying to figure out what the errors are. But when you just click on the icon, it actually loads up the last version that you installed onto the simulator, which is older than the version that we're currently trying to run. So for example, let me show you this. If we go into hardware home, you can see the icons over there, and I'm just going to stop this session over here. And then I'm going to change this so I delete the image view of the diamond, right? So this is a different version from the previous one. But if I go ahead and press run and I click on this one, it'll still show me the older version until Xcode actually kickstarts the latest version. So always let Xcode open up the app. Don't tap on the app icon. Especially when you're running it on your phone, because you're so used to it, it's just a very natural thing to do. But this can be a source of errors later on. Okay, cool. So let's just undo that. This is another helpful hint. So you can use Command Z to undo any action that you just did, and Xcode remembers your steps. And the other thing is that you can hit Command S to save your project, but in most cases you won't need to because Xcode auto-saves every 2 or 3 seconds. But if you're paranoid like me, then having this Command S twitch in your left hand is probably not a bad thing either. All right, so that's it. So we've managed to build our very first iPhone app. We've designed it, we've incorporated labels and image assets, and we've run it on the simulator. So in the next episode, we're going to explore how to take this app onto a physical device. Now that requires a few steps just because of the security settings that Apple have put around being able to load up an app onto your phone. But we'll show you how to do that in the next episode. I'll see you on the next lesson.